you guys. I hope you guys had a blessed week. I know that there's so much chaos going on right now, so a lot of you are feeling weary and tired in your soul, and yeah, I know that may not have felt like a blessed week. But I'd like to talk about something that I think a lot of people want to know about, and that is, am I an emotional eater? Some people don't know if they're an emotional eater because they think that someone who's an emotional eater is usually crying and eating, or sad and eating, or angry and eating, when that's not even the case a lot of the time. The majority of the time, that's not the case. So that's what I want to talk about today. And before I continue, I just want to introduce myself to those of you who don't know who I am. My name's Julie, and I am an emotional eating health coach. I help people take control of their thoughts to lose weight, gain their health, and have a better life. So, on to the topic. I have a couple of questions that I like to ask myself to figure out if I'm eating for emotional reasons. The first question is, am I eating regularly even when I'm not hungry? So that's the first question to ask yourself. And then the next question would be, when you want to eat, ask yourself, why do I want to eat? And I'm going to go into depth on these questions. So the first one is about eating when you're hungry. So I know it's normal to eat when we're not hungry, when we have a trip to go on, or we have to go somewhere and we're going to be away from food for a long period of time. We know we're not going to have access to it, so we got to eat, or we know we're going to be hungry later. That's normal, and that's not what I'm talking about. And I'm also not talking about when you go visit somebody and they cooked an amazing meal for you, you haven't seen them in a while, and they bring out the dessert. I don't even think that would be considered emotional eating. What I'm talking about is when you know you have access to food, you're gonna have access to food all day long. You even brought your lunch to work with you, so you know that's not the issue, but you still want to eat the food, like the bag of pretzels, whatever, it could be healthy food even. It could be carrots. It could be something that you just want to snack on just because you're bored or whatever. So that's how I look at that question. And then the second question is, why do I want to eat? And I know this sounds very simple, but it's really profound. Most emotional eaters, like I said, they don't feel sad, angry, or upset when they're going to food. Usually their feeling is exhilaration because they're excited for the food, or their feeling is they're looking forward to it and it makes them happy. So that is where I think people get deceived into thinking that they're not eating for emotional purposes. And sometimes we eat past full because we're trying to calm ourselves down, and we know that when we get really full, all the blood supply is going to go to our stomach, we're going to get really tired, and we're going to feel better in a way, not completely, but in a way, calmed down. All right, so here is the analogy that I like to use to help explain why people don't feel like they're emotional eating, but they are. If you have an Internet Explorer window open and you have like 50 different Internet Explorer windows open, what happens is it slows down the main program and things just don't work right. So when you have a lot of things going on in the background of your mind that are unresolved, it's kind of like having a lot of different Internet Explorer windows open, and it causes the main thing that we're trying to do to be glitchy and not as good as we want. Maybe we'll be a little bit more irritable, or we're always putting ourselves in a position to look forward to eating something to make us feel happy. So that is the analogy I like to use for that. Once we shut down all those background windows, we figure out what it is by asking ourselves, am I hungry? Why do I want to eat this? And if the answer is I'm not hungry and I want to eat it, then we have to sit back or we have to step back from the food and we have to say, why then do I want to eat it? What's going on in my life that is so bad that I have to go to food when I'm not hungry? Because we're sabotaging ourselves. I mean, some people think, oh yeah, why not go to food? But we all know that extra weight that we put on is going to cause us health problems. And not only that, but we're not dealing with the things that we should deal with in our life. And so our main window that we want to work in is always going to be glitchy, always going to be slow, always going to be impeded. We're not going to be operating at 100% if we don't deal with those open Internet Explorer windows or emotional explorer windows in the back of our mind. So to resolve this, I highly recommend going to therapy and having a therapist draw that out. What is it that's in the background that's bothering you? I personally like EMDR therapy. I don't remember what it stands for. I think it's like eye movement desensitization. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, look it up. E as in Edward, M as in Mary, D as in Daniel, R as in Robert, EMDR therapy. It's excellent for helping you to deal with all the little mini traumas that you go through in life, even the major traumas, actually. And actually, that is for the severe case of PTSD. So there's that. Yeah, and then journaling, like I always say, if you are just dealing with something little, like the way somebody looked at you the other day, or that thing that your husband said to you, or dealing with the loss of a child going to college, whatever, journal it out, look at it, and just sit with the emotion and be okay with sitting with the emotion instead of trying to escape through food. So that's actually it for this week. I know it's not much, but I feel like it's super powerful to know why you're eating when you're not hungry. If you guys are interested in my coaching services, go to destinationnewlife.com and sign up for a free consultation. And I would super love to talk to you guys. What else did I want to say? Oh, yes, my journal. My brain retraining journal. I still offer that, and I'm going to put the link below. It's only $3, and I feel like it really helps. I even have a whole video on how to use it, so I'll try to link it in this video up on I think it's the right hand side of the screen. So that's it, you guys. Have a super blessed week, and